What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Popcorn People Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valera. On today's episode, we are going to have a fun episode planned for you. Obviously, it is Super Bowl Sunday, so this is preemptive. But for those of you joining us now and or throughout the week, we appreciate you guys continuing to check out the Popcorn People Podcast. Today's episode, we are going to do a Knives Out 3 casting episode. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of a draft, and we're going to just draft one at a time till we get a cast. I think, what is it? I think it's 8.
I never know, man. Their casts are always
We'll go 8. We'll go 8. Okay, we're gonna go 8. All right, we'll go 8. And then obviously at the end of the episode, if you drop a comment, let us know what casting team you like with Dom and I, because we're gonna be drafting this team with, we can't have the same person on each other's cast, so that should be fun too. Also, we're gonna give a little bit of a look ahead at the movie theaters and let you guys know what films we are or aren't excited about, which we'll probably end up watching them anyway. But as always, I'm joined by my buddy here, Mr. John Fisher. How are you, bud?
pop, 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 pop. What up? Cardinals was popping. Man, Super Bowl's gonna be good.
Hopefully the 49ers won.
Look, this is unfortunately, we all got our teams. I'm not excited for this one. I wouldn't say excited. I don't care about the outcome. I don't really care either way. I like both teams kind of equally.
I hate the Chiefs, but
I'm not like a Chiefs fan, but I don't dislike them enough to be like I want to go strictly for the 49ers. I like Christian McCaffrey. I want to see him do good. I don't really care about Brock Purdy. He is what he is. So yeah, I might make a little wager on some one of these little sites or something, but this will be 100% based off stats instead of off like, man, I really want this team to win. Because I don't care. I am curious though. They've been building up this Gronk kick, for like a month now.
yeah.
And I want to know how much it swings on like how much he's influenced. Like I seen him on like one of the Tonight shows kicking shit through the uprights, and I know he missed it last year, right? So I'm like,
yeah.
How much can he be influenced? Is he a good kicker? Do you always go like he's gonna miss it? I don't know. It makes me, because I feel like no offense to Grunt, but I feel like he can be bought. Like, hey man, we need you to miss this one because everybody says you're gonna make it. So I don't know. I think this is one of the ones, the Super Bowls that people are just not. You don't see a lot of fanfare on this one because most 49er fans are, out towards the West, and the Chiefs fans are only in Kansas City. So
I don't know. There's Chiefs fans across the world right now.
Yeah, right.
The Swifties, man.
Yeah, the Kansas City Swifties.
I just want like Kelsey to lose and then like Swift just break up with him. Like, sorry, I only date winners. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't date
like,
losers.
Hey, this experiment's over. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't care that they show them. Let's not get that twisted, guys. We don't care that much.
No.
Good for Taylor. Good for them. Like let people have like love or whatever. But all right, so obviously over the next couple of weeks we have a little bit of a dry spell ish of movies. You know what I mean? But there's definitely starting to pick up over the next couple of weeks. We see this week in particular. We have Bob Marley's One Love, and then, of course, we have Madam Web. Obviously, Bob Marley's One Love, the life and music of the icon who inspired generations through his message in love and unity. And then with Madam Web, it's about, the spider world itself. This is how the story came to of Madam Web's character. Dom, all right, first things first, Bob Marley One Love. We're seeing it actually the 12th. What is your scale 1 to 5? How excited are you to check this one out?
Off the title, when I first heard about it, 5.
Yeah.
Off the trailer, I'm a little skeptical, so I'm gonna say 3.5. It didn't go way down, but I'm a little bit like, I don't know what they're gonna do.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm about to tell you how I feel. Okay, all right. Now, look, I'm in the same boat. Like the story itself it's Bob Marley. You know what I mean? Like it should be a banger. The flip side, will it? I don't know. However, I was gonna go 2.5, but I just went to 3 because I found out the movie's only an hour and 44 minutes. So
Okay.
it
Okay.
went up from 2.5 based on that alone. All right, next up, obviously, Madam Web. For me personally, I am really looking forward to it. I don't really care what anybody says. It looks like it could be stupid, nonsense, Venom style fun, and that's exactly what I hope to get from it. I think people are going to be way too harsh on this movie for no particular reason other than just to hate A, women, B, women, C, women, and women comics. You know what I mean? But for me,
Right.
if it's just stupid fun, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm at like a 3.5, maybe even a 4, just based on the cast. I love Dakota Johnson. Please marry me. But yeah, what about you, Dom?
Yeah, originally when I heard, well, when we saw like the initial pieces of trailer, and I was like, I don't know. But now that I've seen more of the stuff, I saw how Sydney Sweeney wants to be accurate to her character, and like what some of the shots they were doing, and the fact that this is not supposed to be um, part of the connecting to the MCU at all. It's supposed to be its own thing, which is might make it even better. So yeah, it made me a little more excited hearing that. And Dakota's remarks initially were taken, I think, out of context. People seem like she didn't care, and still she does care. I mean, she wouldn't do it if she didn't care. So yeah, probably it's about the same, about 3.5 to a 4. I think it could be really fun. Yeah, I mean, Venom was cool. People hated it. I loved it. So they can kick rocks.
Exactly. All right. Coming on February 23rd, we have 2 releases and a re-release. We have Drive Away Dolls, which has one of the most loaded casts. Beanie Feinstein, Kelman Domingo, Pedro Pascal, Bill Camp, Matt Damon, Annie Gonzalez. I mean, this just it just has a loaded cast here. Very, very excited. Let's see here. Margaret Qualley. This comes from the Coen brothers, who write some really good fun, or one of the Coen brothers, sorry, Ethan Coen. So this looks like a lot of fun to me. Dom, what are we looking at? Let's see here. The summer. What's the summer? What is this about? Yeah, just comrade, blah blah. Yeah, in search of first star to embark on an impromptu road trip to Tallahassee, but think go quickly a while when they cross paths with a group of inept criminals along the way. What are you liking?
Yeah, I'm at about a 4. I remember hearing about this and saw the cast last year. I actually thought I think originally it was supposed to come out in the fall. At least that's what I thought, and it got pushed back, which is fine. So yeah, I'm really excited to see this one. Like I feel like this is one of those movies that once you see it, it's gonna become that movie that whenever it's on, you want to watch it. You put it on in the background or whatever. Like I think it's gonna be a cool movie.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in the same category right there. I'm looking at a 4 as well. All right, we got Ordinary Angels. Sharon Steves is a fierce but struggling hairdresser in a small town in Kentucky who discovers a renewed sense of purpose when she meets Ed Schmidt, a widower working hard to make ends meet for his 2 daughters. The film is directed by Joe Gunn. It was actually written by Kellen Fremont Craig and Meg Tilly. Kellen Fremont Craig, who wrote "Are You There Yet? Are You There? God, It's Me, Margaret." But the film stars Hilary Swank and Alan Ritchson. Looks like it could be very much in that faith-based market of films, because that's where the director kind of comes from. For me, it looks okay. I mean, I'm probably like 2.5. I mean, I'm anxious to see it because I would love to see Richardson. What's his name? How do you say his name?
I think it's Richardson.
Richardson. Yeah. I'm excited to see him in a serious role, I guess, because I don't think I've really ever seen him in something like that. I actually dove deep into his history and didn't realize how he was on the verge of killing himself once upon a time, and he was super depressed, and I don't know how, how you scroll on TikTok for the endless numbers of things, and it was just an interview of him talking about how he was looking at death and had everything set up to hang himself and kill himself basically. And it's kind of crazy to know a little bit more about his story, because you just see this big built guy. Either you think of, Blue Mountain State, or you think of Jack Reacher, you know what I mean? But I don't know, 2.5. I think it could be okay. It could be kind of cliche. I'm sure it's going to have some similar stupid beats of those type of movies, which is fine, but it should be fine.
Yeah, I saw, I saw the trailer. I think maybe a clip. It seems kind of like along the lines of Jesus Revolution. Like the way it's shot, it looked very, very similar.
Same director.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, and then it's gonna be that team up of Swank and Richardson. It's kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
And just the fact of like, so because we've seen him so much in like these physical type of roles, it's weird seeing him in like regular, like, office. I got to go to the office clothes. Even though there's dudes like that in all offices, always that one swole guy. It's just weird seeing it on film because we don't get to see it that often. Like we don't get to see people with tattoos that often. That are playing a normal person. So yeah, I'd say yeah, I'm about a 2. I feel like it's gonna be predictable, which is okay, because sometimes you just need a good story to cleanse the palate, to relax and whatnot. But yeah, I can't say that I'm super excited. But of course, if it comes across my desk, my email, I'll check it out.
Yeah, Adam, if it comes across our email. Shout out to our PR dude, Adam. Love that dude. He's awesome. Re-release of Tenet coming. I know everybody's very excited about that. I have no interest in seeing it in theaters again. Like, I don't feel like wasting. It's not a waste of time. I like Tenet. Love Tenet. Love Tenet more than just about anybody did. Love the movie. I'm just not one of those big, I want to go see old movies in theaters. Recent ones. Old school movies, we're on the board. You know what I mean? If we're talking old school 80s, 90s movies that I probably didn't get a chance to see on the big screen, I'm obviously in. However, this is a movie that just came out like 3 years ago. Yeah. I have no urgency to see this. It's like whenever like the Dune re-release, I have first off, zero interest in seeing that movie again, let alone seeing it in the theaters. But yeah, speaking of Dune 2 is coming out on March the 1st. That's definitely one. Like I said, I just wanted to break down the next few weeks of movies. Dune 2 is the big tent pole that is coming out right around the corner. As someone that, as I just mentioned, absolutely hated everything except for the technical aspects of that movie, the first movie, I am still, I don't know, I'm maybe at a 2, maybe at a 1. I don't know. My expectations are very low. I know everybody says this is where things get cool. Yeah. But with that, what does that look like? What does cool look like? Is there going to be a story? That's all I really care about. Because he had Villeneuve had the technical aspect of the film down to a T. Direction was great. The picture was great. The score was great. Effects is great. Story was non-existent. So I'm at like a 2. But I'm only hopeful because I've been told by everybody that Dune 2 completes the story or whatever the hell it is. So, Dom, I'm at a 2. What are you at?
I thought the first one was decent. I know that they were trying to build on this lore. They want to create this, make Chalamet's character essentially like this Messiah type, the chosen one, the Neo. Of that planet. So yeah, I mean, it did kind of the previews of the first one. It did oversell it because there was more downtime, like this quiet, methodical time than there was all this action that we saw in the trailer. And this one could be the same way. It could be like, look at all this cool stuff, and then you're like, they walked in the sand for 2.5 hours, or rode the sandworms for 2.5 hours. I'm very hopeful that this is like where it does pick up. Like they're saying, it is look like there's a lot of things going on. A lot of there's too many big names, honestly, for you to make this one boring. I mean, there was big names in the first one, but this one they've added like 5 or 6 huge names. So it's like, yeah, you can't make this one bad. And they all seem very optimistic in their interviews. So yeah. I'm gonna say I'm at like a 3.5. I do want to see this get cool, and it looks like it will. But if you hated, Rebel Moon, this one could be like you either really hate this too, or you love it because it's so different but the same. Yeah. So I'm at about 3.5.
I ain't mad at you for it. You know what I mean? It's definitely one of those things where it's like it could be really good and it could supersede the first one, which wouldn't take much. But I feel like if there's any provided dialogue or if there's any story any substance here, I feel like we're heading in the right direction to begin with anyway. But all right, that wraps it up for that portion of the show. We're gonna go ahead and dive right into our Knives Out Dreamcast. Obviously, it was announced that the filming of this will begin very, very soon. Two very, very spectacular films with star-studded casts. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to have a fun little 8-round mini draft between Dom and I, and I'm going to keep track over here as we're going along here, and then I'm going to, we'll keep Dom's team, my team, and then, of course, if you're listening at home, keep track. Let us know who has the better team. Obviously, it's going to be me, but that's aside the points. But, no. But, Dom, you know what? I'm going to let you go first.
All right, and look, I think we might have, and this is just me speculating. We might have a few that overlap, but I have like a very specific guess and also a hope of how the movie should be done.
I love your idea. Tell everybody what you think that movie should be.
Yeah, so what I'm hoping that he is able to do with this film is we're solidified in this stage of influencer houses, whether you follow people on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all of them. But a lot of these influencers, they all live in these big mansions together. It started off with like the Logan Paul and his brother and King Batch and all their friends and all these things. So I think that they should do a influencer mansion murder mystery because some of these type of things have happened recently. We all remember the Petito story. I remember a story where I think they weren't, and I use influencers lightly on some of these people, but there was a couple who they wanted to see how if a bullet could go through a phone book, but instead of shooting at the phone book, one of them, the guy put it in front of his chest, and she shot the gun and went through the book and him. So these crazy stories, I'm sure there's more that happened that we don't know. I think there was a girl influencer who stabbed her boyfriend recently. So it's a perfect opportunity to capture kind of what's going on, to keep it topical, but also people love this kind of true crime aspect of everything. So I think it could be a lot of fun if he goes that route. So Ryan, if you do that, I just want like a little producer credit. Just put that right there. So with my first pick in the Knives Out draft, the people's delegation of Dom choose an actual actor / influencer in King Batch.
King Batch, you said?
Yeah. And you've seen him in like Greenland. He was in A Coffee and Kareem. He was in I think, what was it called? Like Show Me the Money. He's been a lot of different things. Sneakerheads.
Yeah, you should have Keith Lee in this movie then, you know what I mean?
That's a good point. The cameo.
Look, I don't have a rhyme and a reason for my movie. I just have people, so I'm not as cool as Dom. So his idea might just get a victory all in of itself. But with my first pick of the draft, I am going to go Marshawn Lynch. I think that he was fantastic in Bottoms, and I really feel like he'd be somebody that could deliver exactly what you need from this type of movie. He can be serious, but also I feel like just he can bring the comedic aspect of this movie that would really kind of bring it together. So Marshawn Lynch, my first pick.
Yeah, he was in I did my Film Independent Spirit Awards voting, and he was on like Breakout Star or something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. All right, number 2 pick.
My number 2, so my idea is to have this balance of male and female energy throughout the thing, because that's how this influencer shit works. So my number 2 pick is Margaret Qualley.
Good pick. I like that. I like that.
She was one of the ones I was afraid that might overlap because she's been popping up in everything, and
Like
she's
she's in that
really
Drive
fucking good.
Away guys,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. All right, so my number 2. It's funny because I'm being strategic on my picks. Obviously, I don't think we cross much, but there is. It's funny because like I kind of went with a more comedic. Like I've got a really strong comedic aspect of this, because there's a lot of serious actors that try, do the comedy aspect of in Knives Out 1 and 2, but I really feel like you can do a funnier style of his movies that I think I really enjoy.
Yeah.
So because of that, I got another quirky choice. That's John Mulaney. Like I said, I've got a certain brand. I'm telling you, when I start listing off these people, I'm telling you, I've got a specific like individual. But Mulaney seems like to me like he would be fun in an acting role that he doesn't have to do anything but really kind of play himself in so many different ways.
Right.
And I just think that I like the idea of being different. You don't have to cast all of these massive stars in this Knives Out. You can have it be top heavy, but I'm just kind of looking at the small pieces. But give me John Mulaney. I really like him, and I like the idea of him in this movie. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Number 3.
So my number 3 is a pair because it only works if they're a duo. Okay. Because I had like the whole Jake and Logan Paul kind of thing of mine, and this gets the millennials and Gen Z in the seats, and that's Dylan and Cole Sprouse.
Oh, okay, I love that. That's a great pick. I can't even be mad at that, And I don't think I have a chance in hell at winning this, guys. So, all right. So for me, I'm gonna go. This is a fun one. I like this one too. I'm gonna throw this one in the hat right now. I'm gonna go Woody Harrelson.
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah, I think that he is again. I didn't really pick any like super A-listers. Like I look at my list and nobody's really like an A-list star per se. So I was like looking through some characters that I think would be fun in these type of roles. Woody Harrelson, I think, is perfect for these. I think he has the perfect sense of humor. And then, of course, he can be serious and the most sarcastic, demented motherfucker in the world. So give me Woody Harrelson as my number 3 pick. Who's number 4 for you, Dom?
Man, actually, this pick would go great with your cast. Eduardo Franco.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah.
That dude, I need him in more stuff. Like, I fucking love that dude. He is hilarious in everything. And he has a perfect, like, balance of stoner and, like, lovable guy. Like, he's so good.
Yeah, he is so much fun. Like I loved him in those binge movies.
Yeah.
He cracks me up so hard. And like even his small roles in the Stranger Things stuff is it's classic. It really is. Let's see here. Who am I gonna cross off my list next? I'm gonna keep going on with I've got a theme here of 2 actors that play they played in like 2 movies together, but I love seeing them pop up. But I'm gonna go ahead and rip one of them off the board. I'm gonna go Gerard Carmichael. Again, I've got a specific. I don't know. Whenever I started making lists, I'm starting to realize of what I've got going for myself. But Carmichael, another actor who I believe has some strong acting chops that we have not seen super much. If you watch the film, God, on the count of 3, brilliant film, top to bottom.
Even in Poor Things, when he's only in there for like 5 minutes.
Exactly. Like he is fantastic actor. Again, give me Gerard Carmichael. I love him a lot. So, yeah, that's my next pick.
My next pick is Haley Lou Richardson. She's, I think she's one of the next kind of big stars to pop. She's goofy, and she kind of has a lot more range than you expect. So I think she'll fit in nicely.
Yeah, that's a really good pick. She's really good. I like her a lot. My next pick is somebody that I think would fit perfectly in this cast. Great actress. Give me Melissa Barrera.
Ooh.
She is the perfect, perfect lady for this movie because you have so many different, like, she can do so much, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have to have her. She can be like super serious. She can play, funny. I think that she could be a very predominant woman figure in this film that could really bring a variety of different things to the table.
And there would definitely be some scream jokes in there because
Oh, 100%.
you're automatically gonna think like, oh, she might be the killer.
Oh, 100%. For sure. For sure.
My next pick is okay. This one felt weird for me to write down. It really did. But because of her most recent performance and her overall impact, it might cost Ryan a little money, but Kim Kardashian.
You know what's crazy? I thought about her. I literally did. I literally thought about her.
Because she's good in American Horror Story. She really is.
Yes. Yes. And
I was very surprised.
Yes.
Because if you go back and watch Disaster movie, her performance is a disaster. And you see her now, you're like, oh shit, she's taking some classes or taking it more something, but she's gotten better.
Yeah, I do think so too. I agree 100%. I feel like I don't feel like I don't think she'll ever get the credit I believe that she kind of deserves, you know what I mean? But I definitely think that's a fantastic choice. It really is. That's a strong choice. She definitely was on like my radar, you know what I mean? Like, being for real, like, she was on my radar. I'm gonna go back to the well of recency bias, I guess, a little bit, but I'm definitely gonna go Greta Lee. If you've seen her in basically anything she's ever been in, she's fantastic. She's got some good spots in a variety of different things, whether it's the Russian Doll, she's brilliant in the morning show she's in. I really feel like if you haven't seen her Russian Doll, you need to watch it. And then, of course, her most recent turn is Past Lives. So definitely give me Greta Lee on my list, and I really like that one a lot. So
this one
2, 4, 6. We're 7th round, right? 7th round pick.
Yeah. This one is probably. Hold on, let me see. I might want to go a little younger than him. I have a couple of those in the tuck. I'll go. You know what? I'm gonna do it anyway. This one, he's popping right now. So again, you might have to come off some commas. But Utkarsh Ambudkar, he's in Ghost. Everybody loves him. Pitch Perfect. I've had a fascination with this guy since Pitch Perfect. And Brittany Runs a Marathon. Like, he's good. He can play the love interest. He can do serious. He's funny. Like, he's musical. He can do everything. So
I can't even be mad at us. Another right, I mean, look, we're casting an unbudgeted, we have unlimited funds in the Popcorn People podcast, so it doesn't really matter what we've got. You know what I mean? We're casting everybody and anybody. All right, man, this is a hard one because I really I'm trying to figure out how where I want to go with this next one, but I think this is a good one just based on. I think this is another one of those ones that you have to kind of maybe come off a little bit of bread for. I'm going to go Cameron Diaz.
Oh.
Again, just strong. If you look at the cast of Knives Out too, right? You know what I mean? Like, you have some actors in there that aren't really like Kate Hudson. You know what I mean? Like, what is Kate Hudson really doing nowadays? She's fantastic in Knives Out too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but you got to you have a little throwback in there. And I think you have the first one with Woody Harrelson. Now we got a little bit of a Cameron Diaz action. I really feel strong that really kind of balances each other out in the in my cast here. Crazy cast, obviously.
Yeah, where's Cameron Diaz been at?
She's got a new movie coming on Netflix, I think, next month. Okay. So Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
is always crazy how like they were so big at one point and they can just fly under the radar and
Just
then
completely off the radar.
like they just stay in the house for years.
Yeah, absolutely insane. So, all right, this is the final pick, I believe. So,
Yep. Final pick.
final pick of our draft.
My final pick, I think, is my best pick. I think it goes perfectly with the rest of the cast. And I just like seeing her on anything. My last pick is Zoe Kravitz.
Man, that is a yeah. That's a yeah. It's funny because I feel like I've got almost a similar style pick there, just because I like seeing her and everything.
Right.
And I balanced these last two, but my last pick is Halle Berry.
Oh
So
yeah.
like that to me, I feel like you have a blend of the old school, new school kind of going for us here. And I think like it kind of wraps everything in a bow. But I mean, there's no rhyme or reason for anybody in my cast. Like there isn't, but I didn't have an idea or anything. I just was like picking names that I really wanted. There's a few names that I really didn't. I almost went Jack Harlow because I wanted Jack Harlow and Woody Harrelson on the screen at the same time to kind of
Right.
make
Oh
a funny
yeah.
white man can't jump reference there. I almost went Io just because
I know.
I just feel like she's just too easy of a pick. Harrison Dickinson's one that I almost talked about. Josh Brolin, Dev Patel, Phoebe Dynevor. So,
Yeah,
who else did you have on your list?
I had Jabari Banks.
Oh man, that's a good one.
I had DeFaro. I don't want to butcher his last name, but from Reservation Dogs, plays Bear. Kayla McLaughlin. I had Sophia Black, Dalia from Single Drunk Female, Taylor Russell, Daniela Melchior. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, and Hunter Schafer.
Yeah, Danielle Brooks is another one that I thought about too.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good
I feel
one.
like she would be fun. Yeah, that was fun. I like doing that. I'm a big fan of just not even fan casting, just do whatever the hell we want to do. But
and look, if y'all think some of these picks is popping, you know what I'm saying? Tag Ryan, man. Let him know, like, hey, this is what the people want, okay?
Exactly. The popcorn people have spoken. I mean, to be honest with you, the perfect casting, if you ask, Rachel Sennott, you know what I mean? She was looking at us like,
right.
Cast Dom and Ricky, you know what I mean? We'll be the podcasting crew.
Yeah,
you know
Emma thought I was somebody. She was like, do I know you? And I was like, do you want to know me? I don't know.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So holler at us. You know what I mean? Cast Ricky Valero and Dom Fisher in Knives Out 3. I think that's the perfect way. Right. You know what I mean?
I'll be in the background like, hey, they can kill me. I don't care. Oh, I'm the one that died.
Oh, no. You know what I mean? Like, we'll be the first two dead. We don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one thing, too, is I want to know what the stakes are going to be. Like, you have to raise them a little bit. They can't just be like this one person and then maybe another person. You might have to do like, they were in a room and some gas went off and 10 people dropped off or some shit.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something's got to give. But yeah, folks, congratulations to the 49ers for winning the Super Bowl. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. Christian McCaffrey is your MVP of the Super Bowl. If I'm wrong, I'm just going to go ahead and edit this part of the podcast out. But do us a favor. Thank you guys subscribing and all that good stuff. Remember, you can find us on all podcast platforms now. The Popcorn People podcast is available on all podcast platforms. You can find us there if you don't want to watch us here on YouTube, but you probably want to look at these beautiful faces.
For sure.
But we'll talk to you guys next week when we talk about probably Bob Marley, One Love, maybe a little Madam Web action. So, we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you guys next week.